In this lesson, you'll learn about asynchronous programming in Node.js. Okay, so Node.js is single-threaded, non-blocking input-output model. So unlike other programming languages such as PHP or Ruby, they are multi-threaded blocking model. So what that means is if they have more jobs to do, they open more threads because one single thread cannot handle. That's because unlike Node.js, it's non-blocking, however they are blocking. So what I mean by that is if there is a job to do that is going to the remote server, connecting to the database and giving you the result. So that will take some time. That will take maybe a few milliseconds or even a second. So in those languages, the blocking models like PHP or Ruby, until the result is received from that database call, the program is stopped, program is halted, nothing is happening. And that is a problem because there are so many other things that could be running in the application. So in that situation, what they do is they open new threads to handle those other processes, other jobs. However, Node.js has this non-blocking model. In Node.js, if the same thing happened, the database call, that job is taking longer, then Node.js doesn't stop. It doesn't block. Okay, it continues to execute other jobs. And while that is happening behind the scene by the callback function, once they are complete, Node.js knows because those events, those completed events returned by the callback functions are stacked on top of each other. So those events in the stack will be continuously executed by Node.js and then again wait for other events to handle. Okay, so that's how asynchronous programming works. And these are the few lines I have written here. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry. We're going to write a very small program that will give you a very clear understanding of asynchronous programming, and we will come back to this slide one more time. Okay, so I'm back to my project, and to complement what we just learned in the theory, let's write a simple program here. Now this time, instead of writing watch, I'm going to read file. Okay, so use this read file method that we get with file system. Okay, and this also takes the two arguments. The first argument is the file name itself, so give the file name, and the second argument will be a callback function. Okay, and this time we're going to look into the error handling as well, which is extremely important. If the error is not handled properly, then the Node.js process will halt. Okay, and then our program will exit unexpectedly. Okay, so it is always very important to handle errors in Node.js. So while reading this file, either there will be success or failure, right? So in this callback function, we will be expecting either error or data. So if it failed, we will get error. If it succeeds, then we will get the data. So here we can handle the error. So if error, let's console log error. Okay, otherwise we can console log data. Okay, so if there's error, we see the error, otherwise we get the data. Okay, now go to target.txt and put some random text. I just paste some random text from Lorem Ipsum. Okay, so once you do that, before we try it in the terminal, I would also like you to write a simple console log. Okay, this is very important, and just write something here. What do we write? So, Node.js async programming. Okay, let me save this file. Now let me ask you this: what do we expect to see in the terminal? Do we expect to see the data and then this console log? Let's see. Let's give it a try. Well, let me quit this running server and let me run it again. Node app.js, and here, in fact, we get the buffer. So what we can do is we can use the data to string method. Okay, and let me go here and run this one more time. Okay, so what you see here is we have the lorem ipsum, this data from the target.txt, but this one comes second. First, we have this console log, Node.js async programming, which we wrote at the end, and then we got our lorem ipsum. Why is that? Why this is not on the top and this one in the bottom? Because that is the way we have written our code, right? First, this function, this method runs, read file, and then the console log runs. However, the output, the result is opposite. This one is executed first, and then this read file has been executed at the end after this one. Node.js takes the event and execute line by line, one by one. However, some events takes longer. So obviously, reading a file system that takes longer than just console logging, right? Because this one needs the access to the file system, go to the file system, get the file, read the file, all that stuff. Whereas this is pretty simple. Okay, so Node.js has this event thrown into this event loop. Then again, another console log is thrown into the event loop. However, when it was executing, it realized that this one is taking time. What it did is it left the responsibility to this callback function and it went ahead executing other event. So in our case, this one. And by the time it did, it realized that, okay, yeah, I've got the read file done and this callback method returned the data. Then Node.js said, okay, so you did that, okay, I will execute that again. So it did that, and then again it is waiting for more events. It is waiting for more work. So you see how it works. Node.js non-blocking asynchronous programming is absolutely incredible. So I'm back to our slide again. So it is asynchronous programming. Node.js is single-threaded non-blocking input-output model. And even though it is single-threaded, it is efficient because it uses non-blocking event loop. And it keeps the events in a stack. They will be executed one by one without waiting for any of these to complete. Instead, they will be executed and completed as the process is running other callbacks. Okay? So with this, you should have a fairly good understanding of Node.js and how it works with this non-blocking system. In the next lesson, I will show you a small example of synchronous programming as well. Synchronous, which is a blocking model. And you can, in fact, write synchronous code with Node.js as well. Even though you shouldn't be, but it is technically possible. So let's see how that works. Okay, see you in the next lesson. Thank you.